We'd like to welcome everyone out to the second edition of the Eagle Lunch Hour today here at Mitten's Main Street Pub and Grill here in downtown Fayette. First up, we'll be talking to head football coach Jody Ford. Central Methodist played Mid-American Nazarene on Saturday and lost 34-14. Coach, what was it like the first time stepping into the locker room and, as a head coach and addressing the team?
It was great. I mean, to have people in there that, again, you become like the equivalent of family and guys that you trust, and an opportunity to go compete. And it's an exciting time, an exciting feeling. I mean, the adrenaline rush you have, just that's what sport is all about. And then I was so appreciative of the turnout of the crowd. I mean, it just goes to show how awesome our fans are, our community, and our faculty and staff are. I mean, you walk out of the locker room and the place is just rocking, you know. And it's a really exciting time. And here at Central Methodist, and we were really excited, and just want to thank everybody for the turnout, man. It was great.
Well, the team started out well in the first quarter. Ryan Restemeyer, free safety, had an interception returned at 25 yards that ended up setting up a Central Methodist offensive touchdown. First, what did you see on the defensive play? What was the call, and what was the execution?
We played a man-free coverage there, and Mitchell Swan did a really nice job of undercutting the route. He actually should have had the interception and went through his hands and up in the air, and then Ryan was on his way, and I was surprised Ryan went for the interception because he usually goes for the hit. He usually goes for the knockout. But fortunately for us, he went for the ball and picked it off and took it back a few yards and was able to set us up for our first scoring drive.
Like he just said, 5 plays into the offensive drive. Fullback Seth Bohahau scored from 6 yards out to give the Eagles an early 7-0 lead. What do you think? What did you see on the play, and what do you think the call was? What was the execution? Just kind of describe the play a little bit.
Well, it was just our typical triple option play, and the offensive line, as usual, I mean, they really blocked it up well. There was a huge hole there. I mean, he basically walked in on that particular play. Seta did a great job of seeing the hole and hitting it, but then also just a great job by our offensive line opening it up. They did a really nice job.
The first half was pretty much a defensive battle. Turnovers playing key parts in setting up scoring drives for both teams. The Eagles led 7-6 after the end of the first quarter, but 2 turnovers in the second quarter, a muff punt and an interception kind of hampered the team. How do you think that affected the squad?
It affected us quite a bit. I mean, that's one of the things, that's where our growing pains are right now, is how to overcome adversity. I really feel like our past history, I mean, certainly that I've been there the past 4 years, we've done a great job of making our team more competitive, where we've gone from a 1- and 2-win team to being a 5- and 6-win team, and we're trying to climb from being a middle-of-the-pack team to being a champion. Well, we just played the champion on Saturday night, and you can't give them those opportunities. I felt like we really gave them the game. They started to give us the game with that first interception we had, and then we gave it right back to them. The thing that I was impressed with them, and the thing that we can learn from their championship caliber team, is that when they gave us the game initially and turned it over to us, it didn't rattle. They kept playing and dealt with the adversity and came back from it. And I felt like with our mentality the way it was, kind of still trying to get out of the pass, I felt like when we turned the ball over, we never came back. And I really felt that way when we came out to start the third quarter. And that's something I've really addressed with our team and addressed with our kids, that they can change the result at any time. But it has to be the leadership of our team and the guys stepping up and giving it across to each other that we got to fix these mistakes right now. This is the point in the game where the game can be won or lost at, and we've got to fix these mistakes. And then when there are mistakes, we got to overcome them. We've got to step up and get stops. And I never felt like defensively we ever got the stops that we needed. And that's something where we just have to learn as a team. And my hope is that they'll get better now and going into this week and learn from the mistakes they made. And that's what we're trying to do, is develop a champion, teach how to be a champion. And these kids, I think this was a great learning experience for them.
Speaking of getting stops, towards the end of the second quarter, the Pioneers had a scoring opportunity in the Eagle red zone. But on third down, senior strong safety Brian Plinch intercepted a Sean Ransburg pass in the end zone and returned it 20 yards, negating a touchdown scoring opportunity from Mid-American Nazarene. What do you think allowed him to do well and be effective on that play and see the ball?
Well, according according to Brian, he had some great dreams the night before the game. He dreamt that he was going to intercept the pass, and his only difference in his dream was he returned it for a touchdown. So I love his visualization, and that he dreams big. And hopefully, I hope he has some really great dreams Friday night before this game, and has a big game on Saturday as well. So I was really impressed. That's one thing about, you mentioned Ryan Resmeyer, you mentioned Brian Flinch. They had a couple mistakes here and there, but they really played pretty consistent for us, and that's why I think really when you look at the explosive plays, Mid-America, they may have had 1 or 2 plays over 20 yards, but they really didn't have that many, and a lot of it was due because Ryan and Brian, both those two were doing a great job of keeping stuff in front of us and not allowing it to get loose. And they've been very consistent for us, and I really believe we'll continue to do so.
In the fourth quarter, fullback Rennie Reese scored his first collegiate touchdown on a 2-yard plunge with about 2:13 left in the game. With 3:26 left in the game. What did you? How did it feel to you to see him score his first collegiate touchdown?
Well, it was exciting because Rennie was one of those guys that when I got the job, he was thinking about leaving school and not being here anymore. And, Rennie and I, because I coached defense, we really never said more than probably 15 words to each other. When I called to kind of recruit him all over again, boy, we had a good 45-minute long conversation. And he told me, Coach, man, I'm going to give you everything I got, my heart, my soul. I'm going to put it into this thing. Not only am I going to be there for you, but I'm going to bring other guys with me. That's a tribute to him. Rennie's a great human being, just makes great sacrifices for our team. Not only do you see him score a touchdown, but he's on a lot of our special teams too. And he's got a great heart. He's a great kid. And if I had more guys like him, we'd be in great shape. And that's what I'm really excited about our team, is I think we will really bounce back from this. But I think it's due to the character we have on our team with the Brian Flinch and Ryan Resmeyer and the Rennie Reeses of the world, that I think they'll bounce back.
In his first game playing for Central Methodist, fullback Seta Boahau led the team on the ground with 16 carries for 63 yards and 1 touchdown. Talk about the play of him and of the offensive line on blocking.
Well, Seth is a beautiful athlete. I know, if you go watch any type of competition, you watch the Olympics and look at the athletes in the Olympics, and you can pretty much tell just by looking at an eyeball on a guy who's pretty good. And if you see Seth out on the field, you know he's a heck of a football player and a heck of an athlete. And we certainly try to get him the ball as much as we can, because he runs very fast, he's big, strong, and it's tough to bring him down with just one guy. And you really got to get a number of people to him to really get him down on the ground, and that really helps our offense. It opens up a lot of things that we do within our offense. So we're very fortunate to have Seth here with us, and he's doing a great job.
Let's jump ahead to Central Methodist Week 2 game. They'll travel to Alloy University on Saturday, September 8th for a 1 o'clock kickoff. The Eagles traveled to Lindenwood Belleville in the first week of the season and were defeated 43-37. In the game, Avalon was able to put up 350 yards of offense, but allowed 589. What have you seen from Avalon take first from their offense that you think they did well?
Well, they're much improved in their recruiting too. When I look at the athletes they have on the field, they're certainly better than a year ago, which is a tribute to their head coach, Coach Berna. He's done a real good job putting his heart and soul into that team and trying to get some things done there. And that's one thing I've noticed, is they're just much improved athletically from a year ago. And so we have our hands full. They'll be very good. We have to come out and really execute what we're doing. And that's the biggest thing that we're trying to get across this week is, definitely plan for what they do, but let's work on what we do. Let's get better at our execution of what we're doing. Get the little things down, because we're having problems with just little things, and that's what wins and loses games. So we're going to come back out and work on those little things this week in practice. I really want to see our leadership of our team step up. Also the players step up. I want to see our practices go a lot more intense and a lot more competitive. And that's one thing, is we've told guys that there's some first string guys that are sitting this week that we're bringing in the second string guys that move up to first string because they deserved it and they earned it. And nobody has a job really this week. It's going to be competitive every week, and we're trying to make practices more competitive, and we hope that we get to the game and hopefully the practices will have been more competitive than even the game is, and that's what we're trying to create on the practice field.
In the game against Belleville, Avalon quarterback Dominic Carmazzi rushed 12 times for 79 yards and a touchdown, and also completed 11 of 26 passes for 123 yards and 2 interceptions. How do you go about stopping him?
Well, it's tough. We got our hands full. The biggest thing is just do our job and our assignments, and and we've got to win. You know, up front, and we've got to do a good job of the one-on-one matchups. I mean, it's 11 on 11, but it's our guys against their guys. You got to win your matchups. And I felt like we did an okay job of that Saturday night against Mid-America, but there's some little things that we didn't do well that they were able to exploit on us. And that's the thing we've got to get better at against Avila is we've got to do those little things right, or Avila's going to put it on us. So we've got to come out and execute, do our job, and we do that, we're going to be successful.
Nicholas Petroni here with head football coach Jody Ford. Central Methodist defeated Avila 30-0 here last year at Davis Field. Coach, on Saturday, what do you think would be the general keys to the game in order to hopefully pull out a Central Methodist victory?
Well, it's always the same thing. It's the turnovers and the mistakes. I mean, now we're on the road. And now being on the road, and you're playing in a different environment where the momentum can shift, their crowd can really get them going. And so any turnover, if we turn the ball over, that gets their crowd into it, gets their team into it. So we have to do a very good job of taking care of the football. We have to limit big plays. I thought we did a good job of limiting big plays last Saturday night, but we got to do that. Anything that allows their team to really get going and allows their crowd to get going, it swings them in. So we're really working hard this week on ball security and taking care of the football, and obviously throwing the ball and doing it right in terms of what we do. Obviously the punt return game, we'll come back and work the returns and do a better job with that. But we got to learn from our mistakes, and that's the thing as we practice this sport is learn from what hurt you in the past. And that's the thing is we're learning every day from our past. Every day we got to get better, try to become better at what we're doing, and that's what I think our kids will respond to this week, and I think we'll go and compete very hard and very well.
Coach, thank you.
Thanks.